Kurt, color, Kurt, color. Put it on your face. Forward, come on.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say those that star-spangled banner yet wave. Oh,
Good evening. Please allow me to acknowledge elected officials with us this evening. When I call your names, please stand. Congresswoman Norton, Congressman Mark Meadows, Shadow Senator Brown, Shadow Senator Strauss, Shadow Representative Garcia, Prince George's County Executive Rashawn Baker, Loudoun County Board of Supervisors Chair Phyllis Randall. Let us pray. Ancient of Days, we invoke your holy presence this afternoon. We ask that you come and give us a burning desire for justice and peace in our city, in each of our 8 wards, in our churches, in our synagogues, in our mosques, in our temples, in our neighborhoods, in our homes, and within ourselves. We often refuse to acknowledge and to fight the injustices that unrelentingly afflict our fellow citizens of the District of Columbia. Mere words will not deliver our children challenged in under-resourced schools because their families cannot afford to live in more opulent areas of our city, nor to pay exorbitant tuition. Awareness alone will not help homeless brothers and sisters who do not have decent places to lay their heads in the midst of the obscene wealth and ostentatious power of our city. Sympathy alone will not deliver poor men and women who do not have the resources nor the connections to bend our system of justice and our money-addicted politics in their favor. And as well-intentioned as we may be this afternoon, speeches and conversations alone will not cause justice to flow like a river, nor righteousness like a mighty stream. Today we look to you to equip us to fight injustice together, to dream new policies together, to empower our brothers and sisters together until the Jericho wall of the status quo comes tumbling down. Thank you for the vision of our Mayor, Muriel Bowser. Give her the strength to say yes when her yes means justice and equity and fairness, and give her the strength to say no when her no will keep the powerful few from wielding more power than they ought over the precious masses. Help us to keep fighting to remove the colonial mantle from our city as we demand statehood and liberation from taxation without representation. Thank you for the beautiful diversity of our city, which is represented here this afternoon. Thank you that when we leave this place, we will not be the same. I honor all faiths. I honor those who do not believe that you exist. I honor those who feel utterly abandoned by you. But as a Christian, I pray in the name of the one who was falsely accused by the religious and political powers of his day, the one who was executed by the state though he was innocent, the one who was exonerated by you early one Sunday morning 2,000 years ago, even Jesus the Christ. Amen and Ashe.
The streetcar returns to D.C.
The mayor who got the streetcar up and going.
And at the end of the interview, the representative stated, Ms. Beasley, with all due respect to you and your family, you no longer qualify for these services because you're now a middle-class family.
They say they train you for 3 weeks, help you with your interview skills, stuff like that, and help you find a job. And Mayor Bowser, I just want you to know you got one less person to worry about.
To build a 5,000-seat arena on the East Campus of St. Elizabeth's, just steps from the Congress Heights Metro Station.
Today is a significant day in the life and development of Ward 8.
The arts are alive in Washington, D.C.
This is Storm Team 4's special coverage.
The tons and tons of snow that has accumulated over the weekend, more than 22 inches of it here in the district.
What you were doing, which was basically helping to shovel people out.
The mayor's very forward-leaning approach on this snow removal.
She got it.
Today we reached 100% passability on all of our major arteries. Mayor Muriel Bowser's so-called Vision Zero initiative.
Focus on making the streets safer for everyone.
Bowser's signature fully outfits some 2,800 cops who patrol city streets, interact with the general public.
A new affordable housing development in Northwest D.C. plans to build its community around seniors and single mothers.
The Bowser administration has put forth an ambitious, evidence-based plan to end homelessness, and the council has supported that plan with unprecedented resources.
We want to shut down DC General, and we're well on the road to do that.
When Mayor Bowser was running for office, she just kept on saying pathway to middle class, and that stuck in my head. She has remained true to her word, and I am so grateful for that, Mayor Bowser.
More than 1,000 families have been placed in permanent stable housing in 2015 alone. The Bowser administration has made more progress in putting homeless into stable housing in the past year than previous administrations have had in many years.
Today, Bowser announced as of August 1st, the city government is getting 35% of its energy from wind turbines in Pennsylvania.
D.C. is becoming one of the most energy-efficient cities in the nation. Today, Mayor Bowser announced a new deal to install solar panels on dozens of government buildings.
By the end of next year, there will be solar panels on at least 50 D.C. government buildings.
Solar is one of the fastest growing industries in the country, and to have these young men and women trained and ready to get employed is very important to the city. So I'd like to thank the mayor.
A new initiative to combat HIV in the nation's capital.
Mayor Muriel Bowser and health officials announced HIV rates have dropped for 6 years in a row.
D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser's decision to abolish fees at the city fitness centers.
If you're a district citizen, you don't have to pay anything.
That's great. I appreciate that.
Mayor Muriel Bowser announced a change today that will keep kids in school through mid-July to improve learning.
I think it's going to be good to help our grades.
I'm really appreciative to the mayor. She's maintained education as a priority.
The advent of a new open government and open data policy, and allowing us to be able to use transparency to allow you to hold us to account, but also make us a better government.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kedar Abdul Shakur, and I'm a proud Washingtonian. I've been living here all my life, but for the past 25 years, I've been a proud member and resident of the Great Ward 8. Yes, indeed. We haven't had a lot of opportunities in the District of Columbia. You know, for myself and a lot of others had to travel outside of D.C. a long time to get employment, far Maryland and Virginia. But now we have the jobs that we want right here in the city that we've been dreaming about for so long now. Most of the wages, we were just like trying to get by actually. But now with the wages that we earning, it's just like a dream come true. At one point in time, you know, I felt like I was living check to check, but now sometimes I forget it's payday, you know? And it's real because it's like I have something in the savings, I have something in my pocket, and they're like, dang, I get paid again today. So that pathway that she talk about is real. It's real. And a lot of us, you know, that we're underprivileged now, we actually feeling that. It's actually coming along. So it is a brand new day in the neighborhood. It really is. Last year, my mother lost her job, you know, in 2015. So I was able to step up to the plate, take care of the household, take lead in the household, you know, for she can save her house in Ward 8. We all grew up there for 25 years. She has always extended herself to others. opening the doors to families that didn't have shelter, renting rooms to mothers with 4 or 5 children. So it was really important for us for my mom to keep that. And this opportunity I have now has allowed me to make sure that we have security here, in the district. It's beautiful that we're actually getting training for positions that exist, and I think that's the number one thing that we need to make sure that the training is there for we can market ourselves in a better place. One thing I like to say that I'm a people's person. So I have a good judge of character. If I'm around a person long enough, or I'm seeing them, or I'm observing them, I can kind of see where they at. And I'm saying that to say this: before our mayor got into office, I used to see her on the TV a whole lot around the city making the speeches. And I look and I'm looking, and I say, okay, this sister seems like she has a genuine concern for the well-being of the District of Columbia. This is what I saw. This is what I perceived. She didn't look like the type of person that just wanted to boast, and brag, I'm going to get the tag and I want to do this. She threw her ego in the bag and was ready to work. So that's why she got my vote then, and that's why she'll get my vote again. So without further ado, I'll be pleased to introduce to you your mayor, my mayor, Muriel Bowser.
Thank you so very, very much. Hello, Washington, D.C. It is wonderful to be here at the fabulous arena stage, isn't it? Isn't it? And I'm honored to deliver the 2016 State of the District Address. But before I begin, I would like to take a moment with you to have a moment of silence and recognition of our neighbors in Brussels. Thank you. Tonight, we all stand in solidarity with our family and friends across the Atlantic, and we stand here. I stand here before you, proud to be the mayor of my hometown. People ask me all the time, what surprises you about being mayor? Some of you have asked me that. And if I had $1 for every time someone asked me that, we could build the rest of the streetcar. It's a joke. It's a good one. The thing about being mayor is that on any given day, you don't always set your agenda. You don't always get to pick the issue, the call, or the emergency that will require your attention. You don't always get to say if you want to make a decision that day or not, because the decisions that you make affect hundreds of thousands of people. You don't know when you're mayor if a presidential candidate will try to tread on D.C. by attacking our reasonable gun restrictions. You don't even know if a congressman will try to attack our marijuana laws, access to women's health care, public funding for schools, or simply by making fun of our streetcar. Now, we can make fun of our streetcar. But we're not going to take it from a senator from Kentucky. So we're not going to do it. So despite all the things that we won't be able to control, every morning when I wake up, and I focus all day, that day, and every day on the things that mayors do, the things that I can do to create opportunity that is equal and fair and blind to age, gender, race, or religion, or zip code. I'm focused on delivering the fresh start we promised for every single Washingtonian. I'm focused on making sure no one is left behind and making sure that hardworking, good-hearted Washingtonians like Kadar, give him another round of applause. We want to make sure that Kadar and people who have walked in his path will get a fair shot and a pathway to the middle class. So I'll go to Cuba, to China, or out to Fairfax County if it will help us continue to feed our economic engine and improve your prospects for a better future. I'll recruit and retain the best team of professionals who share my commitment to all in the District of Columbia, and my belief that we who work for you are stewards of our government. I will set a bold agenda, and I will deliver on it, because that's what you elected me to do. I have learned that if the issues are tough, the politics are hard. As an ANC commissioner, a ward council member, and now mayor, I know firsthand that nothing stays the same. And I believe we have three choices. First, we can reject growth and watch our decline. Or we can grow without regard to our roots, to our history, and risk losing what makes DC great. Or we can take a third way. We can balance change with preservation. We can balance growth with a focus on our history. And we can do it together across all 8 wards. So I guess you know I choose the third. And I know we can do it together by making smart and equitable investments in schools, in public safety and infrastructure, and most importantly, in our people. So I'd like to change gears for a second and kind of go quickly through some things that we've done together. Just consider how far our city has come in the past decade, since I first reported to the Wilson Building as the Ward 4 council member. Let's start with our schools. So we have school reform that equals an accountable mayor and DCPS rising. $6.5 billion to modernize DC public schools, with about $2.5 billion to go. You have 500 mentors for boys who need it the most, and $720 a year saved by parents thanks to Kids Ride Free. 8,200 families, you like that one? 8,200 families reading with books from birth. Thank you, Councilmember Allen. We have cornerstones and Common Core and career academies, and we have the best conditions for public charter schools in the country. More time for learning through the extended year program. We have pre-K 3 and 4, and soon we will open a school for boys in Councilmember Alexander's Ward 7. We've done a lot, and we have the results to show for it. We have one of our shining students here, and all day I've been watching social media about Akila Johnson from Eastern High School. Akila made DC proud by winning the National Google Doodle competition. She included the DC flag in her beautiful doodle because she says, I'm a Washingtonian at heart. I love my city with everything in me. Where is Akila? Is Akila here? Give her a big round of applause. There's Akila. So with our investments and a lot of hard work, there are 15,000 more students in public schools than in 2007. That's a 20% increase. Our parents are voting with their feet. And student achievement is rising as well. DC has the fastest improving urban school district in the nation. Give yourselves a round of applause for that. Last month, I hosted 3 budget engagement forums where people come, we had them all over the city, to speak up about their budget priorities before we finalize the budget. And you won't be surprised by this. Folks come with their own specific ideas, broad ones and very specific ones. But there's one priority that rises to the top of everyone's list. In order to do all the things we want to do in this city, Washingtonians agree we have to get education right. We have to get it right. So with this budget, we will make the largest investment in public education in our history with a $75 million increase over last year. That means More funding for instruction and focused programming in both our traditional public schools and our public charter schools. I've also called on the Congress to renew the SOAR Act, which will provide an additional $225 million in public education in the district over the next 5 years. Last year, you told me we weren't modernizing our schools fast enough, so we're going to fix that. And under the leadership of Councilmember Grasso, we took a closer look at modernization and established a criteria to ensure modernization spending is equitable and right-sized. Because you asked for a greater investment, my upcoming budget will include an additional $220 million for the capital budget for schools. We will no longer do half modernizations or tell you half the truth when it comes to our modernization plans. You deserve better, and we must deliver better for students and parents. So starting in 2017, we will give each school that hasn't been modernized a full renovation. So that means a couple of things. There will be some schools that get done sooner and more completely, and others that will take a little bit longer. But most importantly, all schools that remain will be done, and all of them will be done right. We will complete modernization of our middle schools, as I promised I would do. We will be able to complete comprehensive and selective schools within this 6-year plan as well. 12 schools, only 12 schools that have not been renovated will need to be modernized after this CIP in 2022. Just 12 out of 111. And that is what we have been able to do together. We will then make those schools our top priority, and I will work with our friends on the council to find the $470 million to get the job done. At the end of the day, we have to maximize our limited resources. So much so that we will dedicate a significant amount of our borrowing capacity, as mandated by DC law, to investing in our schools. We're putting all of our chips on education, and we're betting big on our children's future. But that's what you elected me to do. So another pillar of a strong community is a safe community. So let's look at what we've done in the last 10 years. So we've had 10 years of a nationally recognized chief of police in Kathy Lanier. The Rosenbaum Task Force, and I know Councilmember Chase served on that task force, established the framework for EMS reform. Crime rates have been headed in the right direction. We recruited a fire chief from Seattle who's very experienced in the things that we need to work on. We implemented the 500,000 security camera program to keep residences, churches, and other buildings safe in our city. We're working toward a 4,000 person police force that looks like the community they serve. We established community grants and strong neighborhood partnerships and an unwavering commitment to those we serve. As a result of all of this and thousands of first responders who work so hard every single day, we are a safer and stronger city. But like many big cities, we had some challenges this past year, too many homicides and too many robberies. So we're approaching the challenge in a number of ways, and I want to be very clear about something. I believe the best way to fight crime is to give people a fighting chance. I've met so many young men and women who feel left out of prosperity. They're not looking for a handout, they just want a shot, they want a chance, and they need help. So we're extending our hands, whether it's the LEAP Academy, Career Connections, or the Marion Barry Summer Youth Employment Program. We are giving our most vulnerable residents a path they never knew existed, and that includes our returning citizens. Next year, my administration will take over operations of the DC jail, the entire DC jail, including the Correctional Treatment Center. This will allow us to bring back more of our federal prisoners. The sooner they get home to DC, the sooner we can give them the extra support and services they need before they come home. We will enhance job training and mental health services too, and we will do more to reconnect family members and loved ones. Addressing root causes of crime is our starting point. We're also keeping our Metropolitan Police Department on the cutting edge with the best tools and best practices that prevent crime and help us solve crimes when they do happen. We're growing our police force to protect our growing city. Thanks to the support of Councilmember McDuffie, we will make it easier for those experienced officers from the military and other police departments to join the ranks of the Metropolitan Police Department. And we want them to be DC residents too. And this year, because of an innovative partnership between the Chancellor of Schools and the police chief, you will see a public safety academy at our very own Anacostia High School. We will continue to put in place the policies and practices that keep the trust between our residents and law enforcement. And that includes implementing the most progressive, most transparent, body-worn camera program in the US of A. Because we believe that transparency and accountability strengthen our community. And by the end of this month, more than 650 police officers will be equipped with a body-worn camera. And by the end of this year, every single patrol officer will be wearing one. So Councilmember Nadeau, you're going to see them in Ward 1, and Councilmember Alexander, you'll see them in Ward 7-2, and we'll see them all across the city. A strong MPD is fundamental to our safety, and so are our fire department and emergency services. So thanks to a new law spearheaded by Councilmember Che, we now have more safety and health precautions for our firefighters, and that's been a long time coming. It's been a long time coming. But we know there's more we can do to strengthen our emergency services, and you will soon start to see tangible signs of EMS reform. Between 2002 and 2015, despite our growing city and increasing calls for service, the district put out the same number of ambulances on the street each and every day between 2002 and 2015. The city grew, but the number of ambulances we put on the street did not. So we increased that number by 10 last spring, and starting next week, and I want to thank the council for their support, we will put as many as 30 more ambulances on the street during peak times. But that's not all. Over the next few months, we will put in place more than 30 new 911 and 311 call takers and dispatchers. And during that time as well, we will provide the training that our forces need and deserve. So just as public safety is foundational to our strong community, so is the infrastructure that supports us. So here are some things that we've been able to do together over the last 10 years in our city. We have put hundreds of millions of dollars into recreation centers and libraries, and aren't they looking good? We have completed bridges and streets that, but for that intervention, could be falling down. We endured a derecho, too many power outages to count. We created a plan together to underground our power lines so it doesn't happen again. We became #1 in the nation in green buildings and green roofs. And you might have heard 2 bald eaglets nested right here in the district. We also inked the largest wind power deal ever in a U.S. city. We focused on the things that mayors do and have to do to make the city run well, like Pothole Palooza, Alley Palooza, making sure the street lights are synchronized as well. And the things we focus on that mayors must do and should do, like $100 million in investment in affordable housing, with a renewed commitment every year that I'm your mayor. As a result, we're going to build a city not built for the past, but we're building one for the future. We will continue to invest in schools and parks and libraries to the benefit of our residents today, while setting us up for success tomorrow. We will keep investing, along with Maryland and Virginia, in our public transportation network to make sure that Metro is safe and reliable and growing. And I know that I can count on Metro's new mayor, Jack Evans, to make good and work hard with all of us to make sure our dollars are being spent well and our train is running. We will keep investing in smart and clean energy. While it is ultimately the job of our Public Service Commission to hold the utility accountable, we will keep fighting, all of us, to make sure our public utility is affordable, reliable, and sustainable. And most importantly, we will keep investing in our neighborhoods. Look what happened in this very place, the wonderful Arena Stage. Arena Stage made their home in Ward 6 more than 60 years ago. And in 2010, with $10 million of direct investment from the city, they renewed their commitment to Southwest with this beautiful theater. And we want to acknowledge and thank everybody who has been a part of that progress. And we continue to see progress in Southwest with hotels and homes and retail popping up at the wharf. And this is where we should thank our Congresswoman who fought so hard to make sure that DC has access to that great waterfront land and all that it will bring to our city. So let's acknowledge Molly and Edgar and Beth and the team here at Arena Stage for this beautiful night. We want to bring that same commitment and investment to every part of the city. We saw it with huge investments in Columbia Heights and at Center City. And this year, you'll see progress at the new DC United Stadium and at Walter Reed. And thanks to the tenacity and hard work of Councilmember LaRuby Bay and Ward 8 advocate Mary Cuthbert, you will see people living, shopping, dining, and playing at St. Elizabeth's real soon. Let's give them a both, LaRuby May and Mary Cuthbert, a big round of applause. And just like she held job fairs here last year, I know that Councilmember Silverman was going to work with us to make sure we can hold those same job fairs at the new Sports and Entertainment Arena at St. Elizabeth's in 2018. Working together, we are bringing jobs to the neighborhood where people most need them. And because right now, when you look across the district, we have projects in all 8 wards that will lead to 32,000 new jobs. And while some may see cranes in the air, I see 32 pathways to the middle class in the near future. Since day one, this is what I've said to my team. Anytime someone wants to do business with DC government, you ask them, what can you do for DC residents? That means jobs. That means more revenue, and that definitely means more affordable housing. I have this conversation frequently with the council member at large for housing, Anita Bonds. And because of our partnership together, there are now 5,300 units of affordable housing in the pipeline, which will house nearly 12,000 DC residents, more than we've ever had in the history of Washington. Places like Plaza West, Mount Vernon Triangle, where you can have great affordable housing for grandparents raising grandchildren, and the old Phyllis Wheatley YWCA, for people who make less than 30% of the area median income, right in Shaw. As DC continues to grow, we want to make sure our city is affordable and accessible for everyone, whether you've been here for 5 generations or for 5 minutes. So Councilmember Todd will tell you that seniors should be able to live in their hometown, in their own homes, and on their own terms. So this year, we launched Safe at Home to offer small home modification grants for seniors and people with disabilities. 160 people have already enrolled. People like Mr. Sidney Glee. After multiple hip surgeries, Mr. Glee had a hard time climbing the stairs in his home. He saw an ad for Safe at Home, and he called us right away. 18 days after the consultation with the occupational therapist, the DC Office on Aging installed a stair lift and grab bars at his home. Mr. Glee now has the peace of mind that his house will always be his home, and that fills us with glee. Our vision is that no matter your age or your income, you should be able to make a good life for yourself in DC. So we've got schools and public safety and infrastructure. But at the end of the day, our success rises and falls on the people of Washington, DC. Washingtonians are the reason DC is rising. So we will continue to invest in you. Folks celebrating their birthday or their 107th birthday, our vision is to make sure you can live a great life in Washington. No matter your skin color, how you worship who you love, your given tongue and your given abilities, every Washingtonian deserves a fair shot in the pathway to the middle class. Wherever I go, let me tell you one thing, whether it's in Cleveland Park or in Anacostia, parents are telling me how hard it is to get their kids in high-quality childcare. This year, we will make a new investment, an additional $3.6 million to improve childcare across the District of Columbia. But we know that won't be enough. So I have charged the Deputy Mayor for Education and the Deputy Mayor for Health and Human Services to convene a working group to come up with recommendations to expand child care and early childhood opportunities in the district, so we can give every child and every family a strong start here in Washington. As our city grows and more families choose DC, we're working hard to create and attract good paying jobs for Washingtonians. In the past year, here's some good news. Our unemployment was driven down a full percentage point. And we know it didn't happen by accident. It happened because of a lot of hard work. I often tell people that the mayor's one thing that the mayor doesn't have, a big bag of jobs. I wish I did. Trust me. The job of the mayor is to make sure we have an environment where businesses can grow. So we're doing everything in our power to retain and attract jobs in DC. We fought hard to keep major employers like Blackboard, and we won. We fought hard to keep major employers like the Advisory Board, and we won. And between those two companies, we protected 1,300 jobs and paved the way for 1,000 new ones. We will create several thousand jobs at St. Elizabeth's too. We're going after the big ones, and we're looking out for the small businesses and startups too. Look at the success of Don Berger. Is Don here? There's Don. In less than 4 years, Don turned an idea created in an English basement into Social Tables, a global company with 3,000 clients and 120 employees. And we want to make sure we see more successes like Social Tables. So we're working to give DC's own companies, own residents a fair shot. We started the CEO Growth Academy. We launched and we will open late this summer the Inclusive Innovation Hub at Howard University, led by Luma Labs. We continue to invest in Great Streets grants and the expansion of apprenticeship programs. And with Councilmember Orange, we are connecting small businesses with unprecedented opportunity with the district government. We need a thriving private sector to put people on the path to opportunity. And we rely on people like Stacy Smith to help us pave those pathways. Stacy is very open about her story. She tells us she didn't make it through high school. She faced some challenges as a young adult. But in 1993, she found someone willing to take a chance on her. So today, more than 20 years later, Stacy is the general manager at Hyatt Place, just up the street. Where's Stacy? Thank you, Stacy. Someone gave Stacy an opportunity when she was starting out, and now she's paying it forward. Stacy and Hyatt Place have hired 8 people who signed up with DOES, including several of our 22 to 24-year-olds. And we want to thank Hyatt Place for being a great employer. Stacy will make this opportunity available each summer. But the question is, will we? And tonight, I call on the council to permanently extend our summer youth employment program because opportunity should not have an expiration date. Are you with me? So we want to make sure when our residents fall on hard times, we believe we should be there to help them. So last year, we made unprecedented investments to end homelessness in the District of Columbia. Our commitment is to make it rare, brief, and non-recurring. And even though we're just 1 year in, we have good news. In 2015 alone, we helped 1,000 families exit homelessness. That's a 33% increase over 2014. We helped nearly 1,500 individuals, including 760 veterans, find a permanent home. But we know we can be more effective and make better use of taxpayer dollars when we prevent families from falling into homelessness in the first place. And here's the number I'm most proud of. In the past 6 months, we prevented 900 families from becoming homeless. And while we have good news and we know we're headed in the right direction, we also know that there will always be barriers that cause some families to fall into homelessness and have the need for emergency shelter. When I was elected, I promised you that we would close DC General. So let me be clear. I can't mince words. DC General is too old, it's too big, and it's not safe enough. Hundreds of families live in conditions that you wouldn't have for yourself. So we're going to close DC General by opening small, short-term family housing facilities across the district. They will be beautiful. They will be dignified places where families can thrive and where little children can be little children. But we cannot do it alone. The council paved the way with a vote last fall, and we need your next vote to move us forward again. I urge us not to be distracted by arguments that are based on fear or convenience or apples and oranges comparisons that falsely represent the cost of lifting our families out of homelessness. Because make no mistake, if we fail to act, we will fail. If we fail to act, we will not be able to close DC General. Not now, not anytime soon, and maybe never. I'm asking the council to stand with me so that we might keep our commitments to the community and to families. And in September 2018, we will be able to close DC General. And then I'll ask our families all across DC to welcome families in need with open arms and to see them. The thing I know about Washingtonians is that Washingtonians have a generous spirit. And I know that they will see them not different from themselves in spirit or in aspiration, but as neighbors who share a common humanity. As people who have the same hopes and dreams for a brighter future. People ask me all the time, why are you doing this? Why are you taking this on? Let's be honest, it presents political challenges. People have said vicious things. They've clouded the mission, and they've threatened those who are trying to carry it out, literally. Because sadly, sometimes people fight from a place of fear. And sadly, sometimes leaders retreat to that same place. But there's nothing to fear, and we are trying to give families who find themselves at DC General hope. You see, what will happen at these short-term family housing facilities is what happens in people's homes every morning across the District of Columbia. Parents will get up, they'll get their kids ready for school, and they will find a better path forward. Closing DC General is the right thing to do. And this is what I know. You believe it too. We heard from people all across the district who support our plan. DC families deserve better than DC General. 5-year-old Dwayne deserves better. 2-year-old Crystal deserves better. And little Relisha, she deserved better too. I know that together, with hard work, communication, keeping our promises, we can conquer that fear. And that is my commitment to you tonight.
Thank you.
So that's a big ask. And I told you last year I was going to have some big asks. That's the mayor's job. But I have one more. So, you ready? So with grocery bills and child care, and elder care, transportation costs, and other expenses on the rise, an hourly minimum wage of $11.50 will only stretch so far. When I talk about ending homelessness, when I talk about our families who are on public assistance, and I think about our minimum wage, I see all of these things conspiring against our success. Low wages create an invisible ceiling that prevents working families from truly getting a fair shot. A report issued just last month showed that lowest income residents in DC are overwhelmingly people of color, and that nearly half of those earners were born here in Washington, DC. In a city as prosperous as ours, we can level the playing field, and we can make sure our residents are paid a good wage so fewer families are forced to leave. When the council returns from its break early next month, I will send legislation to the council to increase our minimum wage to $15 by 2020. Thank you. So we're going to answer the president's call to raise the wage. Cities and states across the country are proving that decent wages and strong business climates are not mutually exclusive. We are Washington, D.C., and we can do it too. And as we raise the wage, I will assemble a task force of leaders, from workers to organized labor to leaders in our business community. But I can give them a simple task. They only have 6 months to do it. They're going to come together to make sure that we are creating a worker and business-friendly environment in which we maintain our regional competitiveness. From paid family leave to identifying new ways to help our residents start small businesses, the task force will present a report that recommends what we can do, what we must do to stay competitive and continue to prosper. I welcome the council to join us in that deliberation. But the raise cannot wait, and I ask the council for swift consideration in our fight to make sure that more families, more workers can earn a decent wage so that they can afford the affordable housing that we're creating, so that when their time on TANF has ended, they can afford to stay in the District of Columbia. We continue, and we will, to invest $100 million each and every year in affordable housing. We will do that. We can reform our TANF program to keep families working their plans from falling off the cliff. And we will. We can improve how we do job training. We must, but we can't do it alone. If a fair wage is not at the end of that cliff or job training, our families will be forced out. So we must fight for fair wages. Later this week, I will put forward my 2017 budget. It will be the district's first local budget since Chairman Mendelson and I won the court battle for budget autonomy. Let me acknowledge the chairman of the council for really standing up for the voters of the District of Columbia. Give him a big round of applause. I was glad last year to break from my predecessor and stand on the side of those who were standing up with the voters. Unlike the previous administration, I believe that when 83% of DC voters cast a ballot in favor of budget autonomy, the mayor ought to back them up. In fact, one of my first decisions as mayor was to stop suing the council and to join them in their quest for budget autonomy. So what will that mean for us? It means your elected leaders decide how to spend your money. For example, 6 council members want to revisit the TANF cliff. Our budget will give them the time to do it. You see, budget autonomy means that when you tell me to protect TANF, we'll work hard to do it. It also means when you ask me to spend more on education, we're going to do it. And budget autonomy means that we're one step closer to becoming the 51st state in our union. Budget autonomy is not the last step. It will take a lot for us to gain full democracy. And we invite all of our friends at the Congress to join us. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 guaranteed us protection against discrimination based on race, color, religion, gender, and national origin. But what it did not do, people didn't think that we had to protect residents of the nation's capital from not being represented in the capital of the nation. 154 years after President Lincoln abolished slavery in Washington, D.C., we remain at the mercy of those we did not elect to office. It's not right, and we must stand together until everybody recognizes it. In our budget, we will make those investments in education and public safety and infrastructure, but most importantly, we will continue to invest in our people. We will work to make life better for Washingtonians today, and we will make sure that our children and their children inherit a strong, healthy, and prosperous Washington, D.C. And I know we can do it because I believe in D.C. Over the past year, I have seen so much bravery, compassion, resilience, and determination from Washingtonians. I have admired the girls who code. I've met returning citizens who are begging us to come up with a system that gives them a fair chance, a second chance. I met a man who was touched. I think you saw it in the video when he got a job and was on his way. He said, Mayor Bowser, you have one less person to worry about. We all watched with glee a 106-year-old Washingtonian enjoy a dance with President Obama. We saw a police officer use her dance skills to prove that she can dance, but there is more unites us than divides us. I came together with our entire community to mourn our fallen heroes. And tonight we should remember our fallen firefighter, Kevin McCrae, brave police officers from Prince George's and Prince William counties who we mourn as well. I see firsthand the passion, dedication, and hard work of more than 35,000 DC government workers. Please give them a round of applause. When I asked them to pull 12-hour shifts, they did it. And they did it with glee. They wanted to show that DC could handle a blizzard, and we did. We've done a lot of great things this year, but we could not do it without those 35,000 people who show up for the residents of the District of Columbia each and every day. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, we had a great year, but we know that there's so much more we have to do. I pledge to you that we will continue to focus on creating pathways to the middle class. We will work hard on your behalf. We will fulfill the promises that you've entrusted us with. We will do everything that we can to preserve the wonderful and rich history of Washington, D.C., and lay the groundwork for a better tomorrow. We will make sure, in a city as prosperous as ours, that everyone gets a fair shot. My fellow Washingtonians, I'm pleased to report tonight that the state of the District of Columbia is strong. These days are bright. Our best days are still ahead of us, and we will get there together. Thank you very much for your trust, for believing in our vision, for challenging us to do better each and every day. I know that God will continue to bless the great Washington, D.C. God bless you all.
The silence is quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we would take the world to its feet. Move mountains, bring it to its feet. Move.